Pay attention, because this does not involve fluffy wings or celestial harps. We are not discussing magical benefactors or a heavenly support team swooping in to fix your mundane problems. Describing the descent of two protective angels is a metaphor for a literal, unseen barrier that has suddenly enclosed your aura in response to a shifting environment. An unseen negativity has been expanding just beyond your vision, growing more audacious and nearing your space with a distinct focus on you. The sole reason you are currently aware of this hostility is that your spiritual armor is actively engaged, successfully blocking out the interference meant to suppress your spirit. This safeguarding force did not appear randomly. It materialized to counter a covert, methodical danger aiming to dismantle your well-being. You can sense it, can you not? Even if you lack the exact words for it, the sensation is undeniable. It resembles an abrasive shift in your daily existence rather than a forgotten nightmare. Some days begin devoid of motivation, replaced instead by a profound, sourceless anxiety. Your exhaustion exceeds normal levels. This fatigue isn't bodily, but rather rooted deeply in the core where your passions once resided. It seems as though a transparent barrier blocks your imaginative flow. You are unable to truly experience it, although you can observe it. You recognize it belongs to you, yet it remains just out of grasp. Dialogues carry a new weight, stripped of their former significance. Navigating life feels akin to trudging through thick syrup, causing you to wonder if the destination is even worth the struggle. This amounts to more than a temporary slump. It represents the gradual intrusion of a vibration aiming to erase your identity. The most destructive aspect of this negative force is how abruptly it strikes. Rather than arriving with a loud entrance, it slips in quietly, bringing an urge to mindlessly check your device repeatedly despite your exhausted vision. It manifests as unwarranted panic striking right before you engage in healthy behaviors, commence a passion project, or enter into a meaningful dialogue. It is the internal doubt insisting your gut feelings are merely nerves. Your spiritual compass is delusion, and your peaceful self-assurance is vanity. This force has been eroding your self-reliance, trying to make you believe you are inept, undeserving, and vulnerable. However, the instant you challenged this falsehood and pushed back against the negativity, you initiated the most critical spiritual occurrence possible, the arrival of your angelic guardians. To be clear, these are not literal glowing beings hovering in the air. Consider this malicious force as spiritual static meant to disrupt your life's true frequency. Its core operational goal is to sever the tie to your inner strength. Losing touch with your inner might renders you harmless to the system. You remain trapped in the endless societal cycle. You blindly ingest whatever you are instructed to take in. You exist in a perpetual state of worry and lack of focus. As soon as your awareness expands to recognize the illusion and your inherent power to shape your world, alarms sound because this oppressive framework depends entirely on your ignorance. This mechanism of control exists to suppress your potential. The primary objective of this creeping shadow is to make you forget your authentic identity. Consequently, as your memory of your true self returns, the oppressive vibrations will intensify to match it. Consider this analogy. The escalating shadow you perceive acts much like an immense, creeping weather system. You are experiencing the atmospheric shift before the storm. The tension is palpable in your physical body, the environment, and the oddly oppressive quiet. This explains the current bizarre state of your circumstances. Once dependable connections are suddenly fragile. Future preparations now seem meaningless. The environment itself seems poised in suspense. This oppressive force flourishes when you feel bewildered and secluded. Its goal is to convince you of your absolute solitude and impending madness. However, that is entirely false. In reality, countless individuals are enduring this identical heavy sensation, and that collective emotional burden fuels the shadow's strength. This negative aura operates as an energetic echo chamber, absorbing mass apprehension and insecurity to become increasingly massive, robust, and stifling. So you might wonder about the timing. You are likely questioning the reason for this present escalation. Why has it chosen this specific instance to amplify? The answer is that your internal radiance is increasing. You are the spreading flame. You represent the forward motion. This overwhelming strain is not an indicator of defeat. Rather, it stands as proof of your triumph. As the internal discouragement grows louder, your obligation to heed its underlying message increases. As your suffering becomes more bewildering, your conviction in its purpose must solidify. The reality of your persecution proves you harbor a treasure they wish to steal. Within you lies a capability, an unborn future, and a core destiny that they desperately require you to abandon. This conflict wages directly upon your awareness, with your capacity to materialize wonder as the ultimate reward. Consider the previously mentioned guardians. These entities represent your elevated consciousness and pure essence, acting from a hidden future timeline to deliver aid. They function as the armor for your emotions, the weapon of your intellect, and the stabilizing force of your soul. Their arrival coincided exactly with the moment the shadowy force targeted you. Their purpose is not to battle the shadows on your behalf, but to ensure you recall your own capacity for combat. Their method of operating from within your core makes them the perfect defenders. By fortifying your personal limits, they render your spiritual perimeter invincible to interference. They boost your inner knowing. This intuitive boost counters the exact signals the darkness attempts to block, allowing you to perceive reality and steer through the turmoil. They do not remove your obstacles. Instead, they empower you to confront your difficulties independently, which is the only authentic form of safety. View their presence as your spiritual defense mechanisms operating at peak capacity. That fleeting spark of optimism amidst your profound gloom was their doing. That single moment of lucidity amidst the mental haze was their contribution. The choice you made to reject sorrow and embrace happiness was inspired by them. That was the feeling of their supportive presence guiding you. It manifests as a rapid wave of security, a tranquil space amidst the chaos. The true trial, and their reason for appearing, involves your ability to acknowledge their intervention. Once you perceive their presence and the safety they bring, the shadowy force is stripped of its primary advantage. Being unexpected, you cease to be a helpless casualty of your environment. You become an empowered driver of your own rescue. Mastering this situation is less complicated than it appears, completely depending on your physical sensations. Your physical form serves as your primary barricade. It operates as a brilliant detection system that constantly provides factual data. The oppressive energy, confusion, and interference manifest as empty, burdened, and rigid sensations. It forces an instinct to pull away, become small, and assume a defensive posture. This sinister vibration is characterized by gastric tension, chest constriction, and constrained respiratory patterns. Conversely, the protective, divine force manifests as broad, comforting, and weightless. It resembles a profound, easing exhalation. It brings a sudden spinal shiver, spontaneous piloerection, and the sensation of being enveloped in absolute security. Consequently, it is imperative to prioritize your physiological reactions over your mental chatter. Your mind could assure you that all is well, yet your wondrous physical form signals an alarm. Therefore, you must heed your flesh. These guardians are steering you toward a particular mindfulness. This entails mindfulness regarding your personal vibration. It serves as your most precious resource, and it is exactly what the darkness aims to drain. This negativity prefers you chaotic, not idle. It requires you to operate in a state of panic. Its goal is to trick you into wasting your essential energy on trivial matters. It demands your anxiety over tomorrow, yesterday, and the opinions of peers. Therefore, your initial defensive maneuver is acknowledging that your emotional state is a conscious selection, and it is exactly this selection the darkness wishes to command. They wish to instill a sense of impotence, making you think you are victimized by a cruel universe. Yet your defensive barrier acts as a reflective surface. It bounces the directed negativity away, revealing the reality that you alone command your vibrational state. An escalating, choking tension exists, forming a worldwide psychological manipulation. We seem to be governed by a haze of deception, and the guardians are providing the clarity to pierce it. This haze serves as the deception. The deception dictates that you are isolated from others. The deception claims you are utterly alone. The deception asserts you lack strength. Furthermore, this negative vibration acts with such current hostility precisely because humanity rests but upon a critical threshold. We are experiencing a collective realization, an unstoppable blaze of awareness, so potent it compels the darkness to double its frantic efforts. They recognize their impending defeat. This is a known fact to them. Consequently, their strategy is to trap you in terror and bewilderment. Terror remains their sole remaining commodity. However, you are not obligated to accept it. You possess the ability to silence the media. You can cease your endless negative browsing. You can eliminate the useless interference. You hold the power to dictate the vibrations allowed near you, which is not ignorance but rather intense preservation. It is intensely, profoundly preserving. This is where the magic lies. As the negativity applies more force, it inadvertently compels you to manifest wonder. It functions as a catalyst for your spirit's growth. The flames of this negativity refine your internal brilliance. It demands your courage, forces you to confront neglected issues, and compels you to advocate for your existence. It acts as a spotlight illuminating your exact vulnerabilities. These guardians do not intend to eliminate your hardships. Their purpose is to accompany you amidst the trial. Their presence grants you the bravery to cease fleeing the shadows, confronting them directly to declare your fearlessness. Terror remains their exclusive source of sustenance. By depriving them of this terror, you strip away their dominance. To truly comprehend the situation, recognize that your ultimate aspirations are currently under divine management. The grander scheme is governed by your spiritual pinnacle, functioning seamlessly with this shielding vibration. Your current responsibility avoids deciphering the entire journey. Instead, your task is to concentrate on your daily existence. This operates as your hidden advantage, given the stealthy nature of the negativity. It avoids challenging your massive dreams directly. Rather, it targets the start of your day. It infiltrates your breakfast routine and the mental chatter during your dental hygiene. It focuses on the ordinary activities because those provide the best cover for its presence. Therefore, you must observe the minor details with intense focus. Are you truly finding pleasure in this activity? Is this meal truly what you desire? Are your actions driven by duty, or do they stem from your genuine truth? These brief instances of honest introspection act as a shield. They link you to your foundational spiritual energy and genuine identity, which the negativity actively tries to hide. The guardians communicate subtly via these inquiries. Their message is to become conscious in the present reality. They urge you to prioritize yourself. You could be anticipating a specific event, an employment prospect, a person's arrival, or an emotional shift, while obsessively watching the time and growing increasingly frantic. This represents a major snare set by the negativity, the distortion of temporal reality. They intend to manufacture a sense of urgency and tardiness, whispering that a delay in your desires equates to total failure. That is a deception. It is necessary to broaden your perception of temporal flow. During periods of anticipation, the cosmos is not inflicting a penalty. It is providing a shield. Utilize this period as a personal offering. Cease your frantic anticipation of a call and dedicate that duration to a beloved activity that replenishes your spirit. Reverse the narrative. This acts as an act of defiance. By refusing to participate in frantic anticipation, you nullify an agreement with the negativity and establish a new pact with tranquility. We must address the complicated aspect of this progression. As your awareness expands, you become acutely aware of those who remain unconscious. You may face individuals harboring intense envy regarding your trajectory. While they might hide their overt feelings, they intuitively recognize your autonomy, tranquility, and strength, which frightens them by challenging their internal self-deceptions. They remain bound to a framework you are escaping, and their hostile response to your liberation serves to guard their internal suffering. However, this situation demands the application of your shielding vibration. It is absolutely essential. Rescuing them is not your responsibility. Your duty entails remaining faithful to your journey and acting as a silent paradigm of truth. The guardians shield you from this external envy, provided you consciously decline to participate in it. By rejecting the personal sting of their behavior, you allow them to experience their feelings independently. Your tranquility remains intact. An entity exists seeking your reliance, attempting to maintain your spiritual, energetic, and emotional poverty. They offer meager scraps of time, tempting you forward to pursue an illusionary destiny. This represents the alluring restraint. The radiance of the guardians provides the truth that your liberation requires nothing you do not already possess. The strength you search for externally resides permanently within. Their presence serves to reintroduce this reality to your awareness. Although this concept is not new, it represents an essential memory that the oppressive negativity easily obscures. This explains the reason for you receiving this communication. This clarifies why this message reached you. It is not solely intended for the ignorant individual. It targets the aware individual who requires reassurance that their inner knowing is not a symptom of madness. The requirement here involves maintaining your awareness. The assignment is basic but massive. Unyielding opposition. When the impulse to withdraw arises, make contact. When the impulse to observe passively arises, take action. Connection is the goal. The negativity seeks your solitude, since an isolated individual is simpler to conquer. The guardianship of the dual angels serves as a pathway to fellowship. They link you with your spiritual community. The awakened individuals currently experiencing identical strain, so you can unite your power. Shared effort lightens the burden. Tranquil waters never forge a masterful mariner. We are collectively mastering the navigation of these chaotic spiritual currents, and our persistent endurance poses a monumental danger to the shadows. Therefore, your stubborn resilience constitutes an act of rebellion. This requires no haughtiness or theatrical displays. You are not required to command an audience or spearhead a colossal uprising. The most impactful transformations occur silently within the intimate holy confines of your personal existence. Foster the novel concept, the fresh connection, the innovative methods, and the emerging identity. Slowly dismantle the past barriers, destructive routines, pessimistic cognitive loops, and poisonous relationships. You are actively dismantling the foundational architecture of the negativity within your reality. This endeavor may progress lethargically. It will undoubtedly prove tedious at times. However, it constitutes the most vital undertaking of your existence. Trust my words, as I have navigated that exact path. Furthermore, undertaking this task alongside another awakened spirit amplifies the effectiveness exponentially. The final trial involves allure. The negativity possesses a strong, enticing quality. It provides indulgence, financial gain undeniably, and chances accompanied by alluring restraints. It pledges absolute fulfillment, yet the cost is your essence. It acts as a lingering phantom, alluring you with subtle promises to forsake your moral compass. The guardians are present to reveal the reality of the situation. The object of your supposed desire is merely a snare designed for your imprisonment. Your armor is not a fragile barricade. It functions as an unyielding barrier of judgment. This grants you the capacity to halt before consenting, before finalizing an agreement, and before surrendering your autonomy, allowing you to pose a fundamental, significant query. Does this action genuinely benefit my ultimate well-being? The response may defy your anticipations. It could necessitate declining a massive prospect. It could entail departing from a partnership. It could involve letting somebody down. However, by tuning into your guardians and your inner compass, you will discern the disparity between the false promise of an alluring restraint and the profound, authentic vibration of a true trajectory. The negativity demands rapid action, forcing choices driven by terror and urgency. Conversely, the guarding vibration embodies tranquility. It instructs you to decelerate. You exist in safety. Time is abundant. You possess ample moments for contemplation. Your fortitude exceeds your awareness. Furthermore, your receptivity is not a vulnerability. It serves as your ultimate strength. It functions as your sensory receiver. The exact second you experience a surge of negativity, characterized by profound annoyance or hopelessness, that serves as the prompt to engage your barrier. The Guardians did not arrive to rescue you from the earthly plane. They arrived to rescue you by granting the power to flourish within it. They assist in the construction of your personal autonomy through every individual choice. The ultimate component of this mystery is as follows. The negativity is unable to endure the proximity of authentic, unwavering affection. This does not refer to amorous or familial bonds, but rather the profound, self-generating adoration for your personal essence, which powers the radiance. Consequently, as you sense the shadows expanding, confront it with a deliberate focus on thankfulness. As you experience the strain, confront it with a deliberate choice to inhale deeply and purely. As you encounter the terror, confront it with a deliberate decision to recall your inherent strength. The dual guardians exist not as a myth, but as an active, vital truth, demonstrating the cosmos's dedication to your triumph. They serve as proof that the danger is authentic, but equally authentic is your defense. They stand as proof that your presence is acknowledged. You are recognized, and you are unconditionally cherished by an entity vastly more powerful than any darkness that might approach you. Consequently, the subsequent occasion you experience that freezing, encroaching sense of panic, the subsequent occasion you experience the impulse to withdraw, to surrender, to attack, or to devalue your worth. Simply halt. Recall the reason for these emotions. You are enduring a mystical assault, yet you possess ample defenses. You are accompanied. Furthermore, the conflict is already decided in your favor. The defense is already in position. Your only task is to rely upon it. Experience it, and allow it to direct you safely to the iteration of yourself that the universe desperately longs to witness. You represent the radiance they dread, and the Guardians stand as your observers. You are prepared, you are shielded, and you are presently navigating your path, clear of the haze.